Arthur loves working on the island of Sodor. He is new to the railway and is still learning his way around.
It's nice that he feels that way, considering he no longer has a spotless record when he first came aboard. Arthur is such a humble engine. He didn't hold a grudge for losing his record, nor did he brag about it when he had it before then. That didn't matter to him once he discovered the fishing village, though.
There's going to be a new line to the fishing village. I have to decide which engine shall run it. Arthur hoped he would be chosen. Thomas, you will work on the new line. Yes, sir, said Thomas, but he really didn't like the smell of fish.
Shucks. So close, but no fish fillet. I like the fact that Thomas and Percy were trying to stay out of Top Hat's line of sight. However, why is Top Hat assigning Thomas more work? He does have a branch line to run, so I don't see the logic in that. I'm sure Thomas didn't either.
Arthur wished he could go to the fishing village instead of the steelworks. He'd be much happier than Thomas. The next morning, Thomas was still grumpy. The fishermen had caught lots of fish.
Don't worry, Arthur. Just continue doing what you can do. Check out that fish, though. They actually look almost realistic. Well, at least Thomas is just transporting the goods and not swimming with them, or something. I mean, who would want to do that anyway? Oh yeah, Henry did once in Season 5's Something in the Air.
Thomas steamed as fast as he could along the line. But there was trouble ahead. Some faulty points sent his freight cars one way and Thomas onto the old pier rail. Whoa! The troublesome trucks were delighted.
And now so's Thomas. Talk about a freak accident. Fish don't seem to give Thomas much luck. Thankfully, though, Thomas wasn't too banged up and his crew was able to let Top Hat know of the situation. Time was ticking, however, and things needed to keep moving.
It was a hot day. The ice that was keeping the fish cold started to melt. I hope someone comes quickly, moaned Thomas. That fish will spoil soon. Arthur was surprised to see Thomas in the tidal pool.
Well, he shouldn't be entirely surprised, even though the troublesome trucks had nothing to do with this incident. Thankfully for Arthur, he was the closest engine available to help. And being that it involved his favorite thing in the world, he knew exactly what to do.
Arthur knew he had to hurry. He raced along the line to the docks and arrived there just in time.
Nice going, Speedy MacArthur. You know, although you may not be a tender engine, you're pretty fast for a tank engine. And did you hear that theme? It doesn't sound exactly like what we heard from his Spotless Record episode, but there are some similarities. And when Arthur finished, he went to go check up on Thomas.
Thank you for helping me, said Thomas. Thank you, said Arthur. I wish I had the fishing village line all the time. Well, please tell Sir Topham Hatt, because I don't like fish. That evening, Sir Topham Hatt came to the sheds.
Sounds like a good idea. Oh, and look, engines we haven't been introduced to yet. That orange engine was never shown before. Neither was that silver one. Okay. I know I'm watching this episode in the right order, so what gives? I know, we'll find out. So moving on. Arthur got what he wanted and swapped roles with Thomas.
The next morning, he puffed into the fishing village right on time. The smell of fish was everywhere. But he was sure he had the most beautiful line on the island of Sodor.
To each his own. Aside from one glaring issue, this was a rather good episode. It takes the character of Arthur, moves on from his past blunder, further develops his interest, and gives him something unique for himself. From prior seasons, it seems that no engine has really had any luck or enjoyed working with fish. Duck, Henry, and Thomas I'm sure can all attest to that. Especially Thomas, since he was the first one to have them stuck in his boiler back in Season 1's Thomas Goes Fishing. Now, there is an engine who will take the job no one wants. And although he's still a tank engine, I think he should start pulling the flying kipper too, since it always seems to have bad luck. If anything though, I still don't understand why Top Hat would give Thomas more work to do. Us the viewers haven't even really seen him work his branch line in a while. Is Thomas's line used only when necessary? That and the cameos from upcoming engines. Really? I know it's been done in older seasons, but this was like out in your face. The film crew wasn't even trying to conceal these guys. Oh well. Locations were much more abundant here. While we got to see some old spots like Gordon's Hill, Tidmouth Sheds, and Maithwaite Station, the Norramby fishing village was really the place to see, since that's where all the fish come from. However, there was also 2 new places like the pier Thomas unfortunately ran off of, and Knapford Sheds, where we see the place Arthur, Emily, and whoever else might sleep in. The music was also enjoyable. The tune for Arthur sounds a bit altered, but not completely different either. If anything, it sounds much more catchy this time round than before. Well done, Welkin Hartshorn, you're improving. Next episode is The Runaway Elephant. Thanks for watching.